Hey everybody, we are back with another video, and today we're going to be doing a challenge video on this channel. It's a little bit of a different type of a challenge than we normally would do on this channel, but it's going to be a fun one nonetheless. So without further ado, let's hop right into this review and let's see what we're talking about today. Today we're going to be basically going through a challenge where I took Dave Canterbury's basically the 5 C's of survivability. Well, he actually had the 10 C's of survivability, but there's the main 5. And I kind of said, well, how could I kind of challenge myself with this? I said, let me see if I can get all 10 of these items, okay, all 10 of these items on this list for 10 bucks from one store too, which is pretty crazy. So I ended up doing this, and I'm going to show you in a second what I ended up coming up with. But again, a little bit of a different type of a video. Those of you who do know me do know I'm into survivalist bushcrafting. Definitely love being outdoors, and I think it's neat to kind of share this on the channel. So it's gonna be something that pretty much anybody could do. So basically, you could spend $10, go to where I ended up going to was the Dollar Tree, which I'll show you what I ended up getting from there. But going to the Dollar Tree for $10 and getting yourself basically a survival kit that'll at least last you. I mean, some of the parts in there will last you indefinitely, but it'll definitely get you through whatever you need to get through. And well, anyway, let's hop right into it and let's see what we end up getting. I also ended up doing some substitutions, some other stuff that I picked up for certain things where I really couldn't decide kind of what which one I wanted to pick. So I kind of have those over here to the side too. And I also have some additions too, which are, if you want to spend $15, I got 5 more recommendations I'll share at the end to add to this kit. So again, a 10-piece kit is what you're going to see right here. So let's get into it. So straight out the gate, it comes in this nice, it's what? A nice little bag. So it's a nice little, it already comes in a nice little bug out bag with a handle and everything. So here is the container with its nesting cup right there. So again, the bag is crucial because you could use this for a lot of stuff, to haul anything. But again, it comes for free with the kit when you buy all this stuff. So why get rid of it, right? Repurpose that and use that. So straight out the gate, first thing you're seeing here is we have our nesting cup with our container right here, which is part of the 2 C's, because I couldn't get the stainless steel cup actually at the dollar store because they don't actually sell a stainless steel cup there. Especially not one that's not going to be insulated, because they did at one point have some insulated like mugs that were like maybe 8-ounce insulated thermal mugs, but that's not going to be something we're looking for. We're going to need something that we can either boil in directly, or at least something like this that's going to hold a large volume of fluid. Now this is what is this, 3 quarts, so 12 cups of fluid, and this actually is a dog bowl. I know, as wild as it sounds, a dog bowl which holds 52 ounces. This holds 52 ounces, 52.4 fluid ounces. So you could boil a lot of water in this. Plus it's got a nice flat bottom on the bottom of this. I mean, it's tin. Obviously you could peel the sticker off and yank this, what do we got here, this little rubber gasket. See if we can yank this off. So again, you could take that off so you're not making a mess on the fire, and then put this directly on the fire if you want, whatever you want to do. Or build some stones up to basically use this as a bowl to purify the water, and then you could pour the cooled water into this container. Again, 3-quart container like this is going to hold a significant amount of your daily water intake, and it's nice, especially if you're going to be in a drier environment, to bring more water with you. So these 2 right here, there were some substitutions for both these. Again, there could have been this water bottle, which they do sell at the dollar store. And again, this holds, what is this, we're going to say probably 16 ounce water bottle right here. And it's BPA free. It's got a screw cap on it. It's like meant for camping. I mean, I wouldn't put anything in this that's hot or anything like that. You would definitely need it to cool off. This is a plastic number 1 right there. So the one that we ended up going with is actually, what is this, plastic number 5. So this is plastic number 5, which you could put a hot fluid in, and it wouldn't actually leach into the water. So that's a good thing as well. But this is an alternative to this. And alongside that little bottle, you could have also gotten this is just a regular stainless steel bowl, not a dog bowl, but it doesn't actually tell you the ounce capacity that it actually holds on here. But this was in the kitchen department. Again, a stainless steel, just like a mixing bowl. would be good to purify some water in as well. But I went with the larger flat one. You can also cook a meal in this. It's a little bit heavier duty too. Again, in the dog section, they do have some that have painted coatings on the outside. You're going to want to kind of skip those and just go with the regular straight stainless steel one. Again, another good alternative right here. It's not something you're going to be using every day. It's a survival kit, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to be using this just to boil water and maybe cook a simple meal in, and that's it, you know what I'm saying? So that's, like I said, there's some alternatives you could do. I went with the larger bowl, which is why I shared this with this, and plus my whole kit fits in the 3-quart container. The 3-quart container holds the whole kit, so literally this is the kit plus the bag, which is great. So let's move these alternatives off to the side. And as I come across a few other alternatives in this kit as well, we'll talk about it here, and I'll pull them over to the side. So like I said, water purification, endless the possibilities to use this for, but it's the largest stainless steel bowl that they sold at the dollar store for $1. So put that off to the side for now. So now let's see what we ended up getting in this kit. So the first 5 C's, once we pull everything out, we'll go through those and I'll pull them off, and then we'll go through the last 5 C's. So we'll pull everything out here and you'll probably say, well, what do we have in there? Now again, this is a nice wide mouth container too, which is nice. It's not something that's a little bit small like this, so it's real easy to get fluid in, so you're going to get less spillage, because I mean, you got to also think you're surviving. You're not going to have a funnel around, so you also want to make sure that you have a nice wide mouth container to be able to pull everything together. So now again, this is stuff that we're just at my particular dollar store, not something that I would say is particularly at every dollar store. So again, that's why I do have some substitutions in here for certain things, but for the most part, you should be able to get all this stuff right now in 2020 at your dollar store. So, and there's our container right there with a nice wide mouth, screw lid, nice and tight, which is great. So you see all the stuff we have laid out here on the table. This is all stuff, like I said, everything here on this table was $1, and it was only stuff that I was able to get at my particular dollar store that's local. So the first 5 C's are going to be cutting. We got combustion, cover, container, cordage. So there's the first 5, and we'll go through those real fast to kind of give you a little bit of a gist of what each of these items are. So for our cutting tool on the first 5, we actually have this 8-in-1 multi-use knife. Now I'm gonna cut this open. I gotta cut my knife out of the package. So let's get that out. So on this, it actually has, right down here, it's got a bottle opener, as you can see. Little bottle opener. It's got also a little bit of a, you can also use this kind of like a little pry bar if you would. Let's see what we got on this end. So we got another bottle opener, and then this is also going to be a flathead screwdriver. Great tool to have. Again, this was $1, and you're getting all these tools on one. We also have a corkscrew, which is a little stiff, but we got a corkscrew right there. Looks like we also have a Phillips head screwdriver as well. This looks like it's a file. So we have a file on one side, but again, also a little pry bar in there as well to pry against smaller surfaces. I mean, again, this little multi-tool is a great tool because it has a lot of tools in this. Again, it's $1, so you're getting bang for your buck. These are really spring-loaded. So you got spring-loaded scissors in here. So you got scissors now, and you have a knife, which is a non-serrated blade. So check that out. So this is a sharpenable blade right here, which is amazing. You can make it as sharp as you want. You don't have to worry about serrated edge at all. I mean, look at all the tools that you're getting in this little multi-tool for $1. Straight out the gate, we're on number 1, cutting, and look at all the other stuff that came with the one cutting tool. That's actually not that bad. Now, the other alternative that they had there, I went through all the knives that they had in the kitchen section, and this was the only other knife that was there, which is a 5-inch, just a straight up utility knife. It's the only one that wasn't serrated that seemed to look like it have, let's pop it out. It seemed to look like it would have the most sturdy handles out of the ones that were there. So, like I said, it's not the sturdiest knife. I mean, you could definitely do some light carving with it. I mean, I wouldn't expect to do much with this knife. You could definitely use it to do some preparing. I mean, no surgery or anything like that. I guess we're going to probably want to use something small like that for, but again, not full tang. It might go to right there. Hollow handle. I mean, you could definitely tell that there's, when I bend the blade, that there's like some give somewhere around here. So I imagine it doesn't go too far down in there. But again, it's a blade that you can sharpen. and it's non-serrated, which is just like I said, it's going to be something that it's not going to go dull over time. You can definitely use it, and it's something that's a 5-inch blade. So I mean, it's a good cutting tool. It'll definitely help you out. I mean, it's not going to be the best, but again, it's $1. So I could have between the two of these, I chose the multi-tool, but these were the two options that I gave myself, which was this particular knife right here or this multi-tool. I went with the multi-tool. Again, the blade on this is a little bit shorter, so it'd have a little bit less give on it, especially for sharpening and usage over maybe a 24 or 48 hour period. I feel like this would give before the 48, or 24 hour period with use, over multiple hours. So I decided to go with the multi-tool. That was my main, I guess, argument for choosing that, if you would. So we'll put that away out of harm's reach. So again, the first one we got is going to be cutting. So we got that tool out. Next is going to be combustion. They had some choices over at the dollar store, that is for sure. I went with the 3-pack lighters because if you're going to pay $1 for something, you might as well get the most bang for your buck, which now you have 3 spark igniters right here, which is great. If the lighters are dead and they don't work or they're duds, you still got the spark igniter on them, which is great. And I guess in all else fails, you have the butane in here. I mean, you could break it open and use that fuel that's in the lighter if it happens to be a dud. But out of the 3 lighters here, I feel like you're going to get at least one solid one out of this. The other ones they had were like a designer one, which was only 1 per pack. And then they had semi-designer ones, and those were 2 per pack. They also had this one, which was the barbecue lighter, which was my other choice. I gave myself the choice of the 3-pack or the barbecue lighter because barbecue lighter will probably hold maybe a little bit more lighter fluid in there, so you might get a little more use out of it. Plus it's got that length to it. So between the two of these, I ended up going with the 3-pack of lighters. But for combustion, you can't really lose with a lighter. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. We're living in some pretty modern times right now, so you have access to things like 3 lighters for $1, and the amount of usage you'll get out of this is way more than a 24 or 48 hour type kit would need. You know what I mean? All right, so next we're gonna go with cover. They do sell tarps over at the dollar store. I passed on the tarps just because of the way that they are. The quality and the size of them was a bit limiting on the ability to make a shelter for someone such as myself, a 6-foot man, to stretch out. So what I ended up grabbing is a 6-foot shower curtain. So the 6-foot shower curtain is one seamless piece of plastic that is just basically molded together in one sheet instead of it being interwoven together like a tarp is. Now again, this is going to be a 70 by 72. I went over by the tablecloth area in the dollar store. The tablecloths are either this size or smaller, so tablecloth really wasn't a viable option in that regard. I went with the shower curtain. It was the biggest one, biggest bang for your buck, $1. You're getting a huge shower curtain. It does have holes in it for the rings. I don't imagine there's metal little grommets around the holes. I imagine they're just holes. I know that there's like some kind of a magnet weight in these because most of them should have the magnet weight in them to magnetize to the tub. I don't feel it in this one. I didn't feel it in it earlier, and as I'm feeling it now, I don't feel it, but it could be in there. It could be a small magnet that I'm not feeling, but anyway, there could be 2 magnet weights in there, which are great as well to help keep this down. So anyway, we got the shower curtain right there. Again, tablecloth was another alternative, or the tarp, but I went with the larger option. Why not have the bigger bang for your buck? Like I said, went with the knife right there, multi-tool, because you got more tools in that one, cutting tool for the 5Cs, for at least the initial 5Cs. So like I said, cover is the shower curtain. That was my best option there. Next thing we went, like I said, we went with the container here, the 3-quart plastic container, with the nesting cup being this dog bowl, which actually nests it perfectly, especially in the bag. So yeah, I mean, again, it's not gonna encapsulate the whole thing, but in regards to what we're doing and the limited capacity that we had, $10, 10 items, 10 Cs, you get what I'm saying? So by doing that, we kind of tried to do the best that we could, and it worked out that everything actually fit in the container, which, like I said, is awesome. So that is my container right there, and that pairs again with the nesting cup right here. So those are together, but it still is 10 items. So next is going to be cordage. We ended up having a few options for cordage. I ended up going with the paracord for the kit itself, because again, this is like something that I haven't really seen at any dollar stores, but they happen to have this in the hardware section. Tool Bench is their brand, and this was what is it, 25-foot paracord right here, which is not too bad. But they did have some other options that were some contenders that I did pull aside to share with you here. So first thing they had, which wasn't great whatsoever, is going to be this cotton twine, but it had 420 feet of it, so I could definitely do some stuff with 420 feet of cotton twine. And seeing this spool right here, I was like, I'll pull that aside. That might be a viable option. Again, went with the paracord over the cotton twine. Next one that I ended up seeing was this Just Maker's twine over in the craft section. I went over there to see what kind of yarnage or cordage they had over there, and this is what I found over there, which this Maker's twine almost reminds me of some kind of a butcher's twine that you would maybe tie up meat with. It looked and appeared to be that type of a heavy-duty twine, and it was also a polyester and cotton blend. So it was a blend, so I know that it wasn't going to be something that is like this, which is a cotton, straight cotton twine, which maybe if it got wet or something, and maybe let's say this was holding down my shower curtain shelter, this got wet and it was windy and it was constantly being tugged on, maybe eventually this will rip or degrade. Something like this blend will hold up a little bit better in the weather. So I ended up grabbing this as well, and this has actually 69 yards. So to know how many feet that is, you just times that by 3. So you could see kind of like the different options I had. Like I said, I went with a 25-foot shorter version of the paracord, but these were the two top contenders for me, because I feel like I could do more with this than this, but then I realized what kind of this kit is kind of intended for, utilizing the 5 C's of survivability to make a 24 48 hour basically a survival bag from the dollar store. So again, I ended up going with the paracord because you can still break this down even further. It's not the best, but you can. But you got this Just Maker's twine, which I guess is either butcher's twine or crafter's twine. So again, it's a blend, so it's not going to be trash, like I think kind of like this cotton twine. But like I said, 420 feet is a lot of feet. So that's a lot of twine. So that was the only other draw, I guess you could say, for that. So in regards to cordage, which is the 5th C of the first half, is basically kind of a toss-up between all those. But again, I went with the paracord Tool Bench variety. This is something that's brand new at the dollar store for 2020. I have not seen them sell that at least my dollar store before that. So that's kind of cool. This is new as well, this multi-tool. I have not seen, I know we're going to continue on, but this is new as well. They used to have a like really cheap plastic handled folding knife, which had a half serrated blade and like some little black plastic eyelet flip out. I'm glad that's not there, and I'm glad this was there, because this is definitely a way better option than that knife. That knife would break very easily, plus it's got a serrated blade, so you can't even sharpen the damn thing. And I don't even think the plastic handle would even be able to handle any type of carving or anything, so I think it would snap in half. But this, at least this is all metal. I mean, it's 100% complete metal body. All the parts are metal, so there's no reason with a nice firm grip on this thing why this thing wouldn't stand up to do everything you need to do, especially in the first 48. So again, next thing we're going to move on to is the last 5 C's of survivability, which is going to be Candlelight, cotton bandana, compass, cargo tape, and a canvas needle. So as you can see, one of my slots was utilized by 2 items, which was my container one. So that means one of these items in the last 5 needs to serve a dual purpose. So let's move on to Candlelight. So Candlelight, I actually did straight up textbook definition of Candlelight. We got this 20-piece tea light candles. These are perfect. These are going to get you through everything you need to do. Me personally, I chose this over the other option that I did have, because this is also going to serve a purpose to boil my water. I can actually put these underneath my water bowl to boil the water. They're also serving as a light source. They could also get a fire started. I mean, there's tons of stuff you could do with this wax. You can use the wax after it's hot to drip it over things, to wax coat things. There's tons of things you can do with the wax in this. This is beautiful. 20 pieces of this for $1. Wow. The other option that I did have was this LED flashlight. Now, I didn't go with the LED flashlight, obviously. I chose the tea light candles, but this was a tough contender because this is a 3 LED flashlight. Most of the LED flashlights they have at the dollar store are 1 LED. This one with the 3 LEDs also comes with batteries in here, so you don't have to actually buy batteries. Most of any flashlights that they had, whether it was LED or non-LED, they basically had batteries not included on every package. This one, you pull the string, you activate it, and you can basically use that. So let's cut that open and let's check those out right now. So here is the little survival flashlight. Let's pull the ripcord. Look at that. So you got 3 really bright LEDs right there. No batteries needed. Straight out the gate. $1. You got yourself a Candlelight source. But again, this is a really nice tool. It would be great to have both these in the kit. But when I had to choose between one for my $10 challenge, I chose these tea light candles. And if you know the amount of things you could do with that, and you can see the potential for these, you definitely know why I chose these. This, again, is a great tool. Don't get me wrong. This would be a great candlelight substitution. If your dollar store doesn't have these, the reason why I bought this to bring this on here is to show you that this is another option to scoop up on the shelf. Again, you don't want to be running around with these huge candles, but these nice tea light candles, like I said, does fit in this nice 32, quart container. But again, something like this would fit in there as well. So this little light, again, is going to be something that is an optional piece to the thing versus this if you don't have a choice. So next is going to be cotton bandana. They actually had a 2-pack there, which I picked the black and white one over the red and blue one just because I can use the white one. If I'm filtering water, I can see exactly how dirty this is to see if I need to go clean this bandana for filtration. You could use the black one for face coverage if I need to. During times like this would actually work in a great survival situation because it's 2 masks for $1. But the amount of things you could do with this, char paper, tons of stuff you can make with these bandanas, use these bandanas for. I mean, literally, we can go on here forever talking about it, but the reason why the cotton bandana is on there is because of how versatile it is. That's why it's part of the core things on here. Next thing is going to be a compass. Now, a compass and a canvas needle are actually going to be the one thing that is going to be shared. So a compass, let's actually put some of these away real fast. And we're going to leave we'll put the scissors away. Let's get the bottle opener. And where is our knife? Let's just get our blade out. We'll put that there for now. All right. So this is going to be a sewing kit that they had by the register. Now, I don't know what kind of needles are in here, but I took a gamble and chose this for my kit. In regards to the canvas needle portion of our 10Cs and also my compass portion. Now, if I have a needle in here, I can make it magnetized using my blade. By magnetizing it, I can actually just get make a puddle of water and use something like a leaf or a light piece of paper. Anything that would float, basically. Is that all it's basically in there? Yeah. So we got some twine there, and I could basically use that to find out which direction is true north. So we got our basic sewing kit here with all our little sewing paraphernalia. This is the moment of truth. The thing that I actually have been waiting for over here is to see what kind of needles we got. Not the best ones, but I think they'd work, honestly. I really think they'd work. Especially if you hold it pretty tight, you could probably do that. Let's see. Let's see. They all appeared, honestly, to be about the same size. But I'm trying to find the biggest one, I guess you could say, out of here. Here is a needle. So anyway, a canvas needle is, and look at what this, before we get into the compass part, look at what this kit comes with. I mean, the kit comes with straight pins. It also comes with safety needles, which we probably could use a straight pin, but it looks like the needle that I picked out has a thicker gauge than the straight pin that's in here. But we got some buttons to replace if we need to sew on a button. We pop a button. We got safety pins in this kit. To light repair any type of bag that we got or clothing or anything like that. We also have string in here to do endless sew jobs and repair jobs on any type of gear that we have. It also comes with some mini scissors too that could be used for a number of things. I mean, they're not the best scissors again, but we have another pair of scissors in here, so the redundancy is nice. We also have a nice measuring tape, which let's see how far this goes out to. and it's actually tape. So we got 60 inches of measuring tape, which is great. I mean, all this stuff is, again, included in this one little kit, and I have a whole kit of needles to mess around with in regards to sewing. If something breaks, I have an endless supply here of those. And really all you're going to do is you're just going to take the needle like this with the eyelet, just like that, and you're going to basically just cause friction on the actual needle, and you're going to be doing this repetitively, probably for about maybe 30 seconds or a minute, and you're just going to basically be scraping the end of it, which is actually, the friction is actually magnetizing the needle itself. And when you actually place it in, on top of the, leaf or whatever object you could find that's going to be lighter than water, whether it be a really light piece of paper, the eyelet should actually be pointing towards north, true north. So that's the compass portion of this particular I guess segment, if you would. Oh, I guess they actually are a little different sizes. So let's see what we got here. Let's turn, I think it's that chamber. Yeah, that chamber. Yep, that's the one. So they are actually different size needles. Some are longer than others, but it also comes in this neat little travel carry pouch, which is great. So like I said, compass, it actually is the sewing kit and was a twofer for that one. But again, that's what I ended up choosing for that particular option, I guess you could say, for the compass, because they don't sell compasses at the dollar store. You can't go to the kids section. They don't sell them anywhere in the store. So the only thing you can really do is actually make one. And I said, hey, I got 10 items, $10. I need to get this item in here somehow. So we're going to make a compass out of our needle here in our sewing kit. Next is cargo tape. Now, duct tape, they didn't have duct tape actually at my particular dollar store. They had packaging tape and like this metallic foil type tape. It wasn't like actual duct tape, like you would think duct tape, where it's like made of metal basically. It was like a prism type of a metallic, so it was like a weird packaging tape, if that makes any sense. The only other option I could find is this athletic tape, which, if I remember anything in high school, these stick to cleats very well. So I imagine it sticks to pretty much everything else. And again, it's meant to be sweated through. It's meant to have it on the skin where there's oils. It's meant to adhere to things very well, and it's this nice canvas material which would work great for either repairing your gear, covering up a wound, taping up your arm. There's a lot of feet here. Again, you're not going to get this amount of feet. How many feet are in this roll? Let's see. What do we end up getting? So we got 8 yards. 8 yards, okay? 24 feet of athletic tape right here, which is pretty damn good for the dollar right there. $1, we got this whole roll right here, which we can do a ton of stuff with. And it's not 100% saturation proof, but it is for the most part water repellent. We're going to use the word repellent. We're not going to say waterproof because it's not soak through proof. Eventually water will lift up the glue. So yeah, this will eventually do that. But again, if you're in a drier environment and it's not 100% soaking wet outside, you can use this for a number of things. You can use this to start a fire because it's obviously, you can see here, it's made of fabric, which is going to burn very well. It's got glue on it. That's the accelerant. But again, you got 24 feet of tape right here, which you could do a ton of stuff with. And then again, lastly, the canvas needle is going to be, we're going to return back to the sewing kit, which, I mean, it all came enclosed with all of this stuff, which is nuts. But the canvas needle comes with all of this extra stuff, which is going to serve us as well in our survival kit. So that is our 10 C's right there, which is actually pretty cool of a challenge for me to be able to put this together. I thought this was fun to do. I'm going to put this back in here because I'm going to show you how all this stuff goes back into the actual container. After you've heard pretty much all the possibilities you could do with all of this stuff, I'm going to fit all this stuff into a 32 quart container. So it's pretty crazy. And then I'm going to show you a few other things that I would have added to this if I was going to spend, if I was like legit, like, on a budget or something, and I had like $5 more I could squeeze out. These are 5 more items that I would grab, and I'll show you those as soon as we get this stuff put away. But we're going to go through all this one more time before we put everything away. So lastly, we'll go through is the small stuff. First thing we're going to go with is our container here, which is going to be our 3-quart container, 12-cup container. This is going to be our canteen. It's got a grip on the side, which is nice. Not something, again, you could boil water in. That's what this dog bowl's for. That's our nesting cup, which is basically the 2-parter for our 1 container source. So we'll put that over there. First thing we got on the list is our cutting tool, which is our knife multi-tool with, I mean, a whole bunch of endless possibilities you can use this thing for. I mean, it's only got a few tools in it, but you can use this for a ton of things, which is great. Next, we're going to go with Combustion, which is going to be here. We'll check out our lighters. We'll take those out of the pack. And again, you could even use this packaging as a combustion source right there as well. I mean, the package comes with some tinder, and it's got your fire starter right there, which is great. So toss all that in there. Next thing you got is going to be your cover. That's going to be the shower curtain. That's what we picked out, is the shower curtain cover right there. Again, a 6 foot by 6 foot tarp that is seamless. It's not going to leak whatsoever. We're going to put that inside of our container as well. Next, we got our cordage. We got our 25 foot of paracord right there. We even picked out some nice trendy green and black. Look at that. The tool bench variety, brand new, hot off the press from Canada. Yeah, the Canadian, that's where they make this, I believe. Greenbrier, yeah, Greenbrier is made in Canada, but I think they import it through Chesapeake, Virginia. And most of this stuff actually has that Greenbrier. Yeah, see, Greenbrier. Everything actually has that on it, I believe. Yeah, see, even like these weird looking things that you wouldn't think. Yeah, Greenbrier. So, anyway. Paracord. That's going to be for our cordage. Next, we got Candlelight. 20 tea light candles for $1. You can't beat this. Like I said, $10 plus tax, obviously, but $10. I put this whole kit together. Insane. Next, we got cotton bandana, which is going to be 2 of those. We got 2 of those together. Let's take off this because we don't need that on there anymore. So we got 2 of those. Now it'll fit a little bit better inside of our container right there. Next, we have our compass. That's going to be our needle here that we're going to charge with our knife. We're going to use our steel bladed knife to use on our needle to charge that and use that as a homemade needle in nature, using some kind of a leaf, or again, you could use something like a light piece of paper, tissue paper or something, anything that floats. A leaf would be preferred, something that's cupped like this, so water won't get on the top, so your needle can just rest over the top of it. But we got our compass in our sewing kit, which is also part of our canvas needle requirement. Next, we ended up getting cargo tape, which we couldn't obviously find any duct tape, but I grabbed the next best thing, which is athletic tape, which is also a part fabric, part glue tape, which is, again, going to be very durable. It's going to be water. We're not going to say waterproof. We're going to say water resistant. So water resistant tape, again, not saturation proof, but something that'll definitely do in a pinch and definitely help you out when you need it to at least either repair something, construct something, or build something, help you build something. That's really what you need it for. So that's our 10 C's of survivability, and we ended up paying $10 for all 10 C's, and we got everything at the dollar store. And like I said, all this stuff does fit nicely in our free bag, just like that. So, and again, you can just carry that with you. You got everything with you. There's your little bug out bag to go. You got, like I said, all that stuff is in this bag. You could just carry that with you. Now, like I said, there was 5 other items that I said, well, if I had $5 more, I would definitely grab these items. So we're going to go through those right now real quick. Again, I hope you like this video. I hope this helps some people kind of figure out some things in regards to things that they can improvise for in a pinch to kind of meet those needs that you need, especially in dire times or in some kind of a survival situation. Those needs need to be met, and there are plenty of tools that are, available in vast amounts for $1. Obviously, I mean, I don't know how it gets cheaper than that for some of the stuff. I mean, a multi-tool for $1. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, next 5 items we got. First one is, I saw this on the aisle as well, Sharpening Stone. Again, we talked so much about our fixed blade, non-serrated knives. This is going to be the perfect thing that you're going to use to sharpen this type of a knife. Same thing goes with our multi-tool in there as well. This is going to be the item that you're going to want to have with you. Now, as big as this is going to get a lot of use out of it. You're going to get a lot of use out of this. This is going to be perfect. And again, this is going to be something that's going to keep your blade nice and sharp, especially after use. Over the next 24, 48 hours, if you're having this kit, this will be something that'll help you out. And like I said, it'll keep your tool nice and sharp. So number 1 is going to be this Sharpening Stone. Again, tool bench, another Greenbrier original. So dollar store brand Sharpening Stone, Who knew? I didn't know they had that there. Next, we got some nylon cable ties, some zip ties. We got black here, 60 in this pack. They had some larger ones, but they trimmed down the amount that they kept in the pack. I figured a pack of 60, if I need to daisy chain a couple of these together, I could still make longer ones. And even if I daisy chained all these together, I'd have 30 pack. And I think the one under this was like 24. So I was like, regardless, the 60 is the way to go. So nylon cable ties, that's going to be one of my 5, or 2 of my 5 right there. Now, third one was this small first aid kit. Now, this small first aid kit, I think I opened one up. Open one up over here? No, I didn't open one up. But this small first aid kit does have a few things in this, and it's something that I would grab. They had another first aid kit which only had basically a few light wound, like band-aids, maybe had a butterfly bandage, and had a couple spot bandages in there, and a gauze pad. It really wasn't something that you could really do anything with. But this one I saw by the front register, which, again, we got a redundancy because in our sewing kit, we also had safety pins, and we also had these little scissors. So we have another pair of scissors and some safety pins and a larger safety pin right there, which is great. And they already have gear hanging from it, which is awesome. It's got some Q-tips in here, tweezers, which you can do a number of things with these tweezers, like pull out splinters, which is great. And then it also has a little multi-tool in here, which has on it a flat blade. Check this out. A flat blade, a file, a pry, a bottle opener, and a screwdriver. So a flathead screwdriver. So it's got another multi-tool in the first aid kit, and you have some bandages in here. So you have 2 bandages, which again, you're doing a 24, 48. I mean, you only have the money to spend $1 on some of this stuff. This isn't a bad deal for this particular little kit right here. Again, $1, you're getting all this value. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, there's some redundancy in here, which is nice, the safety pins and everything. So that would be the third item I would grab out of the 5. We got the Holy Bible. So we got the New Testament of the Bible. This is great for morale. Again, if you have a few items that you can add to your kit right here, if you're grabbing and you have a little bit of an extra budget, a few extra dollars, grabbing something like this is great for morale. Especially you can sit down in the downtime and you can read. You can get right with yourself, whatever you need to do. But something like this is great for morale, and it's always great to have something like this in your kit to kind of keep, everything else is business, but have something for downtime. And that's what I'd recommend this is, and that's what I chose for mine in this out of the 5 items. Now, the last item that I chose that I saw on the shelf kind of blew me away a little bit. I didn't even think they would sell this type of an item at the dollar store, but they did. So the last item out of my 5 items is, check this out, a crowbar. So they actually sell a crowbar at the damn dollar store. And again, this is another, there you go, check it out. Another Greenbrier joint. So, yep. Yeah, I mean, what can I say about this pry bar? What you could do with this? You could do tons of stuff with this pry bar. It's a multi-use tool. It's even got a way over here to remove nails. You could split wood with this. You could do tons of stuff. Pry into things. I mean, break stuff, bend stuff. I mean, you can use this for a multitude of things, and this would definitely be something that I would grab on the way out. That's for sure. In regards to tools, if I had $5 extra, I would definitely spend it on this stuff right here to add to my $10 kit. So for $15, I guess you could say, you would get everything that I showed you earlier and this stuff right here. But again, this was stuff that doesn't need to be there. But like I said, if you had just a few extra dollars and you saw this stuff at, dollar store and you needed to grab them in a pinch, I would grab something from at least these or grab all these. I mean, again, this is optional too, what kind of morale type of an item you want, whether it's a book or the book, whichever one you want. Put it in there for yourself, for your own mind. But it's definitely something nice to have with you to keep your mind off of things. So why don't you let me know down in the comments below, what'd you think of this kit that I put together? Again, $10 challenge, $10, 10 C's, 1 store. I challenge all of you to go out there and do this for yourself. It couldn't hurt to put something like this together for yourself, even if it's something that you put in your car. And why don't you let me know down in the comments below which ones from this kit would you swap out with something else, or if you had any other recommendations for this kit, let me know down in the comments below. Again, I don't normally make content like this, but I've been doing this stuff for a while, and it's something that I'm into, and I thought it would be something that I would like to share with everybody because I think it's a neat challenge $10 and you can build yourself a survival kit to survive, I mean, well beyond 2 to 4 nights. But you can definitely do an overnighter with this for sure. So let me know down in the comments below, what would you recommend, or what would you replace, or what type of kit do you like to rock when it comes to this type of stuff? And let me know down in the comments below. Do you also do Dave Canterbury's 5 C's or 10 C's of survivability when you build your packs? I'll leave a link down to Dave's channel in the pinned comment below. Go check him out. Go check out the stuff that he does over on his channel. A lot of useful information over there. A lot of useful information entirely on YouTube as well. So use it as a resource for sure, especially when you're putting stuff together like this or any type of survival kit. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Want more content like this, subscribe for more, because I do reviews every single day. So look out for that, and have a great rest of your day.